We're here in the mayor's office, and Mayor Lang has graciously offered to do youth office hours. We're trying to make a real push to get youth involved in elections and the process of sort of the issues of the elections. And so we have someone here who's going to ask you a question. So you go ahead. What's your name?
Adam.
Adam, okay.
Okay. And my question is, do you think there should be residency requirements for the workers of the city of New Bedford?
Okay, that's a great question, Adam. The answer to that is, I believe there should be, and we have to some degree residency requirements for many of the people who work for the city. Although at a certain point, some city employees are able to make the choice if they'd like to move outside of the city. But if I had my druthers, everyone who worked for the city would live in the city and would want to live in the city. I mean, there wouldn't even be a question of it. But I think that, you know, over the years, contractual issues have come up where people have, you know, gotten the right after they live here. They have to live here before they're hired, and they have to live here for a certain period of time. And then if they choose to, they can move to another city or town. But I want to build a city where everyone feels that they want to live in our city, work in our city, play, raise their kids here. So I think that it's the kind of issue that I'd prefer. If it was up to me, I'd want everyone who lives in the city, working for the city, living in the city. But I understand why there are different competing arguments to that.
What's being done to bring more jobs into New Bedford?
All right, so that's a question that every single mayor has faced, going right back to you know, the year that we were incorporated. And I think what I've tried to do is put a premium on economic development and job creation. And I believe that during the recession, we've done as well or better than most urban areas in the United States. So I'm very proud of that. In fact, we actually have more jobs than we had before the recession. The other problem is we have more people in the job market, clearly, so you've got to continue to keep pace with that as well. But we have brought in companies from not only in this state, but around the United States to see New Bedford, to create new jobs in New Bedford. One of the first things I did was bring Sovereign Bank into City Hall and talk to them about creating jobs in what was the old Compass Bank building, and now at that time when I took office in January of 2006 was the Sovereign Bank building. And what we were able to do was convince them to bring a call center into the city, which created right off the bat about 150 jobs. And what they first said to me was, well, we're not quite sure how many people will be qualified in New Bedford to you know, handle these jobs. And it turned out that they had a job fair, and they needed about 150. And they had over 400 people from either New Bedford or directly in this area who were well qualified, bilingual, very good in customer services, very good, adept in running computers. So that happened within the first month or two of being mayor. And that convinced me that if we bring companies in, discuss our great workforce, our extremely trainable workforce, the people who on a day-out basis always show up for work, we could begin creating jobs. So the business park now, I believe, since the recession has actually created about 400 jobs in the business park, which is a great thing because at a certain point we were laying people off. We've now brought them back. Precise, which makes O-rings, was down during the recession to just under 200 people. They're now up over 300 people. We've opened up close to 50 stores and storefronts downtown. We've opened up dozens of restaurants in the city. We opened up a new hotel in the city, first time in 50 years. We have 30 ships coming in and out for import-export. And when I took office, it was about a half a dozen. And then the Market Basket is an example of a store that came in and originally hired close to 800 people. And I think now that things have settled down, it's well about 600.